as you evaluate these decisions. Let's go ahead and look at a couple different examples. I put these at the bottom of the study guide on the first page. The first example here, I say you have a local bookstore who sells coffee in the cafe, and we have two different options. This is an example of a make or buy decisions. We can either produce our own coffee, or we can buy the gourmet coffee from a supplier. And we want to look at what are the relevant information for each one of these different options. So if we're going to actually make it internally, we're going to produce it ourselves. We have direct material cost $10,000, direct labor of $5,000, variable overhead of $1,000, and the sales price of $30,000. So let's just make a little mini income statement about that to look at what the actual cost would be. So we have our sales price. What we're going to have coming in is $30,000, and we'll just put these all in terms of thousands here. What are the direct materials cost? Minus 10. And what's the direct labor cost? Minus 5. And then you have our variable overhead of 1. So together, your cost of your product is 16, and your net income is 14,000. Okay. So let's look at what happens if we actually purchase it from a supplier. Well, the information I'm giving you from your purchase decision is it's gourmet coffee, so we can sell it a little bit more. So we're going to have a 33 for sales. The purchase price is 17. Okay, so our cost actually went up a little bit, but so did our revenue here. So what's the difference? It's 16. So this only went up by 1, but the amount we were able to sell it for went up by 3. So here we got a difference of plus 2 if we actually purchase the coffee, the gourmet coffee, from the outside supplier. So in this decision, we would go with option 2 to purchase it from an outside vendor. Okay, the second option, the second example I have talks about monogramming Bibles. So you know, monogramming is where you put the little name on there. You might put James Webb in gold letters at the bottom of the Bible. So that if you give it as a gift, a lot of times people do that. I had this example in an on-campus class when I taught at Asbury College, and one of the girls, when she was explaining her answer, used the word mammogramming about 8 times rather than monogramming, and that was one of the funniest things I ever read when I was grading an exam. So I got a chuckle out of that. So we're talking about monogramming, putting somebody's name on the Bible. So in this example here, we got Bibles that cost 10, they sell for 15. It doesn't give the amount that we actually sell in total Bibles. We don't need this because we know at the bottom it says whether or not they have the service for monogramming doesn't affect the quantity of Bibles sold. So essentially our cost of $10 and our sales price are irrelevant because it doesn't differ between the two different alternatives. Okay, so the costs that we need to look at are the difference between the two different options. So the fee for monogramming is $6. An additional worker will be hired to monogram the Bibles at a cost of $18,000. The monogram machine costs $1,000 and will last for 2 years, so we have to depreciate that. And then they estimate that 2,000 Bibles will be monogrammed each year if they add this service. So we need to look at the actual net income or net loss that would occur if we chose to employ this service of monogramming the Bibles. Okay, so first let's look at our net income or our revenue here of what we're going to be able to generate. So we said 2,000 Bibles. What's our monogram fee? Is $6. So that's $12,000 of sales that we're going to be able to bring in. Okay, what are the expenses associated with this? Well, we said we had that one worker for $18,000, and then we also have the depreciation on the machine for $500. Okay, so you can see where we're going with this. The amount that we're bringing in is only 12. The extra money that we're having to pay out is greater than that. So we have $6,500 loss if we choose to include the option to monogram. I keep saying mammogram because of that student. To monogram the Bible. So this is the main thing we're paying our employee that is going to do the service in excess of what we're going to be able to bring in. So in this decision, we would not offer this service, and we would just sell the Bibles as is, and they could go to some other place to have them monogrammed. Okay, make sure you understand each one of those 1 through 6. Look at the examples in the books. If you have any questions, we can talk about it in the discussion forum. There will be a lot of practice in the homework problem, so you'll get this down by the end of the chapter.